My name is David Clarke, and I manage the Technology Development Group here at Workday. I'm delighted to be joined today by Jon Ruggiero, who is our Chief Technology Architect. And Jon has been highly instrumental in most of the major decisions that we've made over the years around Workday's technology platform. Jon?
David, good to
see you.
Thanks for having me.
Would you like to sit uncomfortably close while we talk about technology?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's do it. So Jon, you've been at Workday for a long time, right?
11 years
Wow.
this month, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What do they give you?
They give you a gift card to go take vacation.
Did you take the vacation?
No, I didn't take the vacation.
How American of you.
Yes.
So, wanted to take the opportunity to talk to you today about some aspects of Workday's system and how it works and why it works well, with a focus on metadata, really. So, what is metadata?
Well, metadata is fundamentally, it's just data, right? It's data that describes other data. The example I use a lot of times is a photograph, digital photography. When you snap a picture with your smartphone, you capture the image, of course, but you also capture all this rich metadata about the image, so that your phone captures your location, the date and time when you took it, all of the camera attributes that you would expect would be there, like f-stop and exposure and that type of thing. When you upload it to Facebook, you tag it with your friend's name. That's all metadata that is captured along with the photo.
So how do we do that? So you said that we don't rewrite everything every time we need to change the platform. I guess we use metadata a lot. So perhaps you can talk a little bit about the metadata approach and how that actually helps achieve this.
You know, we realized early on, I guess, that the pace of innovation in technology was fundamentally different from the pace of innovation in terms of business logic. If you look at some of our business applications, financials, modern accounting was basically invented 500 years ago, whereas technology is evolving very fast pace, and it's very different pace than application. So we tried to come up with a way, how are we going to protect the investment in our business logic and do it in a way that we can make these technology changes over time, but not have to change the applications. And so we did that by coming up with a tool set that we call Espresso, which is it's a metadata-based tool set. And so business application logic, the entire model and all of the business logic is stored as data. It's not actual program code. And so we call that metadata. And what it allows us to do is we can upgrade that data over time. We just treat the program definition as data, and we can make changes to that over time and evolve it over time. And we don't need the application developer to rewrite that.
So how does this help with the application?
Application metadata, it's essentially, you can think of it as just, if someone's familiar with JSON, it's just maybe a JSON string that describes the application. And so you describe your class that is your business entity, and that entity will have primitive attributes that are on it, has relationships to other classes in the data model. And you could imagine what that data would look like and how it describes the business application. And then there's additional data that describes business logic of how you access data in that data model, how you write data into that data model. And again, it's just data that describes how you want to do that. And it doesn't describe the underlying technical details of what needs to actually get done. There's a platform component that interprets that metadata and actually runs that at runtime and does the persistence or does the transactions or does whatever it needs to.
But why is this important to customers, do you think?
It allows us to be more agile and to evolve the system over time, that they're not going to get locked in to a system that's going to become a legacy system. And I think a lot of these systems that are out there today, they are legacy systems. They can't be upgraded anymore. They've become stale. And we never wanted to paint ourselves into that corner and be in a spot where we couldn't have our customers be on the latest technology and take advantage of the innovation that's happening in the industry. So I think that's a big reason why customers care at the end of the day. So
Jon, 10 years ago when you decided on this metadata-driven approach to delivering the system, did you know it was going to work?
You know, I think actually there were probably two camps early on in the early days of people that thought that this was a great approach, and others that thought that this was maybe a bit crazy. And so,
which camp are you in?
Actually, I was in the camp that I thought it was going to work. I guess it wasn't really until the first time that we actually upgraded the system for our customers that we found out that it was a good approach. And not a lot of people know this, but the first version of the software that we put out for customers didn't actually have an upgrade process. We didn't know how we were going to do it, and we evolved that in place, that we realized that this is a good approach, that it allowed us to protect the business logic that was out there, protect our customers' data, and do it in a very efficient way.
So it was kind of an aha moment where the theoretical benefits you would hope for proved out to actually work in practice.
Exactly. So we started to see that working, and there were things that needed to be tweaked, of course, but yeah, it was from then on, kind of everyone kind of got on the same page and was in the same camp at that point and said, yeah, this is going to work, and let's move forward with that approach.
Go metadata.
Go metadata.
Now, this metadata-driven development approach has provided all the customer benefits we've talked about, but it's also been vastly more productive for developers in terms of how quickly they can build a certain set of application functionality. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that?
You can create business applications very quickly with it, and so everything from basic CRUD-style applications all the way up to complex business applications, you can do that very quickly and efficiently because we focus the developers on what they need to focus on, which is really creating their models and creating their business logic. Mm-hmm. And they don't focus on the underlying technology platforms that many times you can get caught up in all of those details. Mm-hmm. So I think it is a very efficient way at building applications. And so that could be seen as another benefit to customers, that we can very quickly get new applications to market. Mm-hmm. and provide new functionality to our customers. We allow them to extend the system in certain ways, and in many of those ways it is just with the same type of metadata that our application developers use, our customers also use. And so things like report definitions, calculated fields, even security and business processes are all using the same metadata framework that we use internally.
So I also wanted to say, Workday has made several technology acquisitions over the years. They purposely don't buy kind of applications to bolt on, but they've made several technology acquisitions. So I'm curious about how they get integrated into this metadata-oriented architecture.
When we look to acquire technology, what we want to do is we want to fold that into the technology platform and make it available to all of our applications, all of our application developers. Mm-hmm. And so we try and really understand what are the main capabilities that technology component is trying to expose to the application developers. Mm-hmm. And that's the metadata that we need to capture, mm-hmm. is to allow app developers to describe how they want to take advantage of those capabilities. Mm-hmm. So if you look at something like Platfora, which is a company we just acquired, they had concepts of data sets, lenses, viz boards, which are kind of their high-level concepts that describe.
Platfora is a big reporting
analytics type service. So those were the main concepts that they were trying to describe in their platform. And so those were the concepts that we wanted to bring into Expresso metadata, that now we have app developers that can describe those same concepts and surface them to our customers.
So earlier there were about 15,000 classes in the system. Do you have a favorite one?
I guess my favorite is the class. It's number one in the metadata. Metadata instance ID is number one, and it is the metadata instance, or the meta instance, I guess.
Perfect.
And so that's why it's my favorite.
Okay. Well, Jon, I think we've comprehensively covered metadata, so thank you very much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
You're welcome. So that was the end of the first episode of Behind the Cloud. We look forward to meeting you again in future to talk more about the technologies and people who are actually making the enterprise cloud work.